Welcome back, everybody, for episode number 23, and I say that with confidence. 23, no question marks, because that's what it is, and I mean it. No, episode 23 of the Backroad Banter Podcast with me and Justin. We are not in the same room today. We're back at home bases for each of us, but it was a good little special. It was a good
test run.
That's for
good
sure.
Test run for sure.
Yeah.
A lot of feel like a lot of things worked out. A lot of things went really well, though. Actually, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Surprisingly, it was shocking. We went into that shit with zero equipment. I brought everything just in case too. I was just in case we'll go. Yep. And then you brought the extra lapel mics just in case. And then it was fine. We didn't need anything.
Good. Yeah, it was awesome. It gave me hopes for the next few, just because now I have things that I know we can improve on, but also knowing that we're not starting at like ground zero. You know?
Yeah, we definitely need a better room setup and a better camera setup.
Yeah,
like a multi-camera setup preferably, but yeah, we definitely need a better room setup. That's like first and foremost. I think we need more than just that couch.
Yep.
Which that room's got space. You know what I mean? Like we could put something else in there. We just need it. You know what I mean? Like we just need to find it first. Yeah.
We'll just take some time to set it up, and then the camera thing. That's I've already got an idea how to work that out. So
your plan with that is really solid. And then like when I thought about it, I'm like, huh. That's fucking brilliant, and it's pretty easy too.
Pretty easy. That's the that's the best thing. So this when we get around to our second in-person podcast, it will be it'll be a lot better and a lot more fun for everybody to watch. Hopefully,
and hopefully it'll be relatively soon too. So it might require a strange recording day for us, but that doesn't affect anybody else. So yeah. It might actually require us to record an episode on a day the previous one comes out, which might throw me through a giant fucking loop. But
I think I'd really enjoy that, honestly.
It would be kind of cool. It would be kind of cool, yeah.
Yeah. Well, shoot, we can just get into it, dude. You started off, but now I'm talking, so I'm gonna ask you. How was your weekend? What'd you get into?
Dude, I got into a lot of stuff, man. And not a lot of stuff, but one thing, and I got a bunch of notes for it. Okay. It's funny. I wrote down every like out of place thing that I saw over the weekend. So anyway, we went to our little local bar, the same one that we stumbled across the anniversary party. It was Jocelyn's birthday, or it's actually Jocelyn's birthday in about 3 hours.
So negative 2 days from now.
But we celebrated her birthday this past weekend because we had shit to do this week and this coming weekend. She had shit to do this week. I have shit to do this weekend. I gotta work, but yeah, we went out. Yeah, it was a good time. It was a few of her friends were there. Her dad, and I wrote down notes, and I wrote down notes while I was there, and they get more and more obscure as the night goes on because I wanted to document what I was seeing, especially every time I saw something funny. The first one, I guess this is more of a bitching point than it is something that happened, but I wrote high school PDA in the bar. Now we're gonna play a little game where I know. I'm trying to play, do I remember why I wrote that or not? I remember why I wrote this one. You probably remember why I wrote this one. Whenever we saw those weird people, so there were these group of weird people that kept trying to hijack our dartboard, and then whenever they couldn't hijack our dartboard, they went and like homecoming grind danced and were like making out in the middle of the fucking bar. This is not a club that we went to, mind you. This is a bar. This is a bar that like sells just food and alcohol. It's just a regular bar. It's like my type of bar. Like it's not a nightclub. It's not, you know what I mean? Like nothing against anybody that was dancing, but that is like that's nightclub activities. Like you take that fucking somewhere else. You get out of here with that.
And nothing against you, because this is nothing against you. It's just your personality. I don't see you at a nightclub at this point in your life.
No, I've only been to one nightclub in my entire life. and I was 22.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I went to. Do you remember? It was a few months before I moved up here when I was running back up here, back and forth, doing job
With
interviews,
Dean.
and I stayed with Dean and Chase.
Yep.
I stayed with Dean and Chase, and we went out to. I don't even remember what fucking club it was called, but we went out. God, we were out till 4 or 5 a.m. I had a job interview at like 8.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
And that was bad. And that was bad. And I got that job, and that should have been the biggest red flag for that job. Like the condition that I walked into that interview in, I should not have got that job.
Yeah.
But I did.
I remember that vividly now. Actually, I remember talking to you that night, and then that's funny.
Yeah, and then let's see, next thing on my list is fucking all out of order.
That's okay.
I also wrote, I think it's worth noting that I take pod notes at the bar. Because I did. I don't normally, but I had to. I was seeing too much fuckery. It was Saturday night, so.
I know that this is the intro, but just because our podcast can be whatever it is, I want you to take your time and describe as much. I want this to be a big portion of this podcast.
I want this to get people hooked. That was the only thing going through my brain is I'm like, damn, this will like kick off the show too. Like basically, I said this will kick off the show. I want people interested from the get go. My next one. Love the way I wrote this, and I do know what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna go ahead and explain what I wrote here. I don't even have to explain it. I wrote packed and smoked the Williams family in darts.
One game.
Yeah, I only won twice, I think, and one of them was bullshit. One of them I probably shouldn't have even won. But yeah, I that was like the first 2 games. It all went downhill from there. We played a lot of darts. That was the majority of the evening. Yeah, and then I wrote, I'm the goddamn dart man. That's pretty cool. I just wrote that on there. I do know what I'm talking about. That was fresh after a win.
That's how you know you're just feeling good. You know that you are probably, you're willing to admit that you're shit any other night, but right then, you were feeling like the dart man.
I actually wrote it Dartman. I wrote it one word, Dartman, yeah. What happened is the first win, I wrote the first note, and then after my second win, I wrote that I was the goddamn Dartman.
Dartman. I'm writing that down here. Dartman is officially on the list of round 2 of sticker designs.
Which speaking of darts, yeah, Dartman is a solid sticker design. I don't know what we're gonna do with that, but we can do something with that. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
So I didn't write this down, but I remember it. I texted you about it. I remember texting you about it. There were 2 guys in there playing darts at the board next to us. This is Saturday night at a bar, probably fucking at this point 10, 11 p.m. in professional like dart player jerseys. There is no tournament going on. These guys were just dressed to the nines to practice their darts. They were there for 30 minutes probably, and then they left.
Were they good?
Yeah, they were all right. I was watching them, and I was like, okay, because I remember when I saw this dude in the jersey, I said, this guy better be good.
I'm gonna be honest. I've seen some, like, I mean, you know the people that I used to hang out with, so like, I've seen some pretty darn good dart players, which I think is just drunk luck a lot of the time.
A lot of the time, it is if you're me.
That is a lot of confidence to walk into that place with a jersey on. Like,
yeah, like expecting not to get made fun of. Like, I don't know if anybody made fun of him to his face, but I know I made fun of him in my head.
And that's how it would be for me. But I'm kind of with you, how you were like, okay, at least you're kind of good. Because in my mind, I'm like, no, you're just a joke. But no, because, like, would a joke really wear a dart jersey if they weren't a serious player? Because that's not like, I mean, it's like stolen valor of the lamest kind.
Yeah, it really is if you get in there. And Jocelyn's dad thought it was a golf shirt, which I thought was funny, because it was a polo. Because we have the U.S. Open coming up here next week. They're playing at Oakmont, which right outside of Pittsburgh, and they yeah, that's sound. If you hear that, is my ceiling fan coming to a stop. It's a piece of shit, but
No, you're good.
it's the U.S. Open is coming here next week, and he said, he was like, oh, I guess they're in town for the golf thing a little early, and then me and Jocelyn kind of just looked at each other like, what the fuck is he talking about? Like, that's definitely a dart jersey. There's sponsors all over it, and I don't recognize one of the sponsors. I think half of them are made up.
Tony, brother, I know golf may not be your sport, but fucking use a little common sense, man. I know you got it.
Yeah.
Like that. How many golf? Wait. The first was there numbers on the jersey?
I don't know. Were there numbers on the guy's jersey?
Yeah.
I think there might have been. It was like a 3-4 digit number or something on the back. Yeah.
I almost gave Tony a total pass, but I have never, ever, not even with the drunk retards out here at Glenville, the people that just come out here to smack balls and crash carts. I've never seen somebody wear a jersey of any. I've never seen numbers on any clothes.
Let's make one. Let's make the first ever golf jersey. It has numbers on the back, and the last name is Golfman.
Just so everybody knows, I have a failed T-shirt business, so we could technically make some.
Yeah.
Dude, that's funny.
My next note is it's fucking awesome. It might be the best note that I wrote down the whole night, and it simply says, I hope I remember what the fuck these notes mean.
That's a very fair one, just because, I mean, if you're in the middle of the night and you don't know exactly where the night might end, yeah, you hope you remember. It's totally, I think everybody can kind of relate to that feeling. Shit, it's hard to remember the conversations, the people you have conversations with, let alone, all of the, 10 events from one night.
Yeah, another one I wrote down, it confused the shit out of me at first because I didn't know the whole backstory. I remember this one. I remember why I did this, so I'm checking all my boxes here. I'm doing pretty good. I wrote down Tony the Mike Man. Mike, like M-I-K-E, like the name. Somebody was asking him about one of his kids. And I thought they were calling him Mike. I thought some guy was saying, hey, Mike, hey, Mike. That's not what was happening. But in my brain, I heard this guy say to this man named Tony, hey, Mike. And Tony stopped dead. And I thought he was just fucking with him. I didn't know it was a real conversation. I thought this guy was like, all right, I'm Mike now for a second. Hold on.
That's the type of stuff we would have done. I could see how you could see them going with it.
That's exactly what I thought it was. I was like, that's the biggest Justin move I've ever fucking seen in my life. But then I asked Jocelyn what happened, and she explained it to me, and I was like, oh, okay. I also wrote down... this one's iffy. I know why I wrote it down. I said something fucking hilarious. I don't remember what it was. Yeah. I wrote down I've got Hall of Fame level bar commentary. I don't know. Do you remember what I may have said? I probably actually shouldn't say it on here, whatever it was, but...
Was it pertaining to my dad watching the Pirate game in the middle?
I'll bleep it out at any point. Whatever may need to be, or cut it out.
No, yeah, I'm just trying to remember who it was about. I'm trying to remember if it was about our unexpected guests that I told you about, who I won't touch on. The other unexpected bar visitors. Or I don't remember. It might have been about her dad standing there watching baseball, like in the middle of the bar. Like we were on our way outside, and this guy just sees this big TV Pirates game going on, West Coast game, so it's late, and he just stops. And he stayed there for a minute. I don't remember what that is, but I do know it's true. I can talk a lot of shit at the bar. And then my last one, I touched base on you with before the show. I do remember. I wrote Santa fucking Claus at the bar. And then in parentheses, I'll know what I'm talking about. Or it starts in parentheses and then ends in quotation marks. But I do know what I'm talking about. We saw this fella, this young gentleman, dressed head to toe in red. White trim, and over his head, I don't want to call it a hat, but it was this white, fuzzy cloud-looking thing that covered everything but his face. It, like...
You should have gotten a picture, first of all.
I really, really should have. I definitely should have. But I just remember sitting there, and I was like, yo, it's fucking Santa Claus! But yeah, man. And then after that, we went to Denny's with our unexpected visitors that we were already going to Denny's, and then we were sitting there, like, talking to them, and they were like, hey, we're going to go to Denny's. You guys want to come? We're like, we were already going. We were already going to Denny's after this. But yeah, long story short, I mean, I guess that was a long story, and I made it long as hell, but the short version is that we went there about 7-ish p.m., maybe close to 8, and closed the motherfucker down for the first time, and it didn't cover that much. It covered more or less of his face. He had, it was like a whole face hole like this. Yeah, she tried to show me a picture of what she thought it was, but it was close. It covered everything but the eyes, but it was, yeah, it was just like, it looked like just a bunch of feathers around his head. It was so funny looking. But yeah, he had to have been warm as hell, too. Like, I couldn't imagine.
Yeah, especially if he's drinking.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. But yeah, anyway, we closed down the bar, which is something I haven't done since I was fucking 22, probably. I don't remember the last time I was at a bar or last call. I forgot that we stayed until close. Because I asked Jocelyn the next day, I said, did your dad and his girlfriend stick around after after we left? And she was like, nobody stuck around after we left. It closed. I said, all right.
Cool.
Yeah, but I had no idea at the time. But yeah, it was a good night. It was a good night. There were no, we didn't get to see anybody fight. We thought maybe that we were going to have to fight the people that kept trying to hijack our dartboard.
Yeah.
And I'll touch on that before we go on to whatever's next. But the fucking dart people, man, this is what pissed me off. So there's 2 dartboards in this thing. We were on one for quite some time. I'll give him that. We were on one for a minute. And then these people came up and asked how much longer we were going to be. And we were like, yeah, we put like $10 in this thing. Like, we got quite a bit of games left. And then they leave. They're gone for 30, 40 minutes. Actually, they're gone for more than that. They're gone for about an hour, hour and a half. For about 30 or 40 minutes before they come back, the dartboard next to us is open. And then they come back and they're like, hey, how much longer are you guys going to be? Like, what the fuck does it matter? You had a 45-minute window to play right next to us. Like, I don't feel bad anymore. Like, the first time they came up, I felt a little bit bad because we had just started and we were going to be there for a minute. And then the second time they came up, I'm like, I don't feel bad. Like, if you guys really wanted to play and wanted to pay attention instead of fucking each other in the middle of the dance floor, then you could have came over here and played quite some time ago. Like, you lost your chance.
You're absolutely right. And then on top of that, you left. And once you leave, that time restarts. And there's a difference if, they're there kind of early and you guys are there playing. And you guys have been there a few hours and you're still there playing, and they come back to it. There's a big difference in just bar manners in terms of how you approach that scenario. Because it's not early in the night. It is now late in the night, and now you guys are enjoying your night on that dartboard and not at the bar or not, like...
Yeah.
It's like the way that I don't know. It's darts and pool. It's just the way, like...
Yeah.
It's how that shit works. So that's weird to me that they were kind of aggressive about it.
Yeah, it was. I wouldn't even say aggressive. It's just like impatient is definitely the word. But it's like you lost your right to be impatient like a while ago. Like you could have been playing. Yep. And on top of that, they kept like sending the one girl out of the group over there to ask us, like, okay, like you guys don't want to listen to what we actually have to say, so you're sending over your human shield. I see.
Yeah, you're being you're being women yourself right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pathetic at that point, because then it's not even like...
Yeah. But anyway, it was a damn good time. We had a blast. Good. I thought it was a success of a trip. It was a good time. Got to watch some baseball. Got to watch a little bit of basketball when I was there too.
Nice. Nice. How was the baseball in there?
It was the Pirates and the Padres. I forget who won. I think the Pirates actually won. They were up the last time I checked. And then I just disappeared into the night, and I didn't pay attention to the game after that. But
yeah, that's what happens. Well, heck yeah, dude.
yeah,
It was a good weekend.
yeah. Give us the rundown on yours. I took up a big chunk there, but I thought it was well worth the listen. It's
Yeah, dude, it's story mode.
good experience. It was a good experience. That's for
dude.
sure.
I'd rather hear our stories than hear recaps on fucking shit 20 other podcasts are talking about. Plus
That's
50,
actually very true.
Know? So no, that's awesome. My weekend. What did I do?
Did you do that photo shoot that I saw on your Facebook? Was that over the weekend?
That was actually on Monday. I had Monday off from work. I forget the woman's account, Liz something photography, but shout her out. She is the one that actually did our New Year or our 1 year photos for Layla as well. But we really
I'll look it up on your page right now so we can give her a proper shout because those are good.
Please do.
Liza, is that it? Liza
Yep.
Whittington? Yeah.
Yes.
Liza Whittington Photography. There is a very good shoot. She did a damn good job. These are good
Awesome.
pictures. These are good pictures.
Awesome job. Dude, thank you for talking about that. I appreciate that.
Yes.
Those were technically this week. Those were the end of my weekend, and they turned out absolutely fantastic. As I was saying, she was our 1 year photographer for Layla, and we absolutely loved it. Hit it off with her so much, and she really liked just Layla, and then she liked us, so she offered to do those photos for us in exchange for advertising, outside shoots, father-daughter shoots, especially with Father's Day coming up and stuff like that. And so we kind of made a deal. We were able to make a deal with her, and luckily the course over here in town was very cool with it. I just paid the money necessary for the carts and the time, and it ended up working out real good. There's only like 3 other golfers on the course, so we had like 10 or 15 minutes per hole, and I was able to move us around in between. It was great, and just kind of along with those, they turned out a lot better, and they turned out, like I told Faith, I can't wait till Layla's older so I can just tell her about show her these, but tell her about them,
Yeah.
But that was on Monday, so those photos are awesome. It was a great end to the weekend. There on Friday, I was actually able to spend some time with Faith and her. Just because I got off work early, I went and golfed, played 9 holes by myself, and then hung out with them for the rest of the day. On Saturday, I actually made it up your way. I went up to Washington and had a spontaneous trip with my surveying buddies, Greg and Chris, and we went to Topgolf, and then we took Greg up to his wife, but then me and Chris hung out in Washington for a little bit, had some good food, went to the Tanger Outlets, but he had never been to, those Tanger Outlets. He had never done Topgolf or anything, though he's kind of an avid golfer to a point.
Yeah.
So it was a really great experience, something cool to do. Being the younger guy again, at first I felt a little out of it, but they just reassured me, dude, you're just one of the guys. That's cool.
Right.
That age doesn't matter at this point. And so it was a great memory. Great. I was able to text them there afterwards, a couple for a little bit, some pictures that we had taken and whatnot. And just a good memory. Similar to what you're saying. It's overall a really solid weekend. I've absolutely not. I could talk about it forever, but it'd get repetitive. Overall, just really appreciative for friends and family, man, and looking forward to continuing these memories throughout the summer.
Hell yeah. Yeah, the summer is off to a good start, I gotta say.
100%. Absolutely.
I'm enjoying it. Hopefully more good summer news to come.
Yes, I believe so. I know my summer is actually pretty planned. I have so much stuff that I'm doing this summer and so much stuff that's going on, whether it be work-related or not. Very excited. Just kind of talking about work-related stuff, dude. We can talk about it now because I like talking about more personal stuff than just randomness. I'm going to send it to you here whenever I find it. This is the schedule for the Glenville State home, quotation, home games.
Okay.
And so we'll find one of those, if not 2 of those, and we'll go and be some fans and, just enjoy our alma mater.
The one at Robert C. Byrd would be probably Robert C. Byrd and Herbert Hoover would be the easiest ones for both of us to get to because they're kind of in the middle between us. Or wait, no, Hoover's the other direction. I'm sorry, I was thinking of something else. Hoover's down towards Charleston, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but RCB is Clarksburg, right?
Yep.
Okay, I thought so. But that's the Fairmont State game too, and it's on your birthday. That's a that's a good little fucking. Our homecoming game is in Nicholas County, very far from home.
Yeah, the homecoming game. The only ones that I'm really super interested in is the homecoming game, but the problem is or not the homecoming game. I'm not interested in that one, but I'm gonna have to work that one like just as my job. So I'll have to be there for my job. I'm interested in the Fairmont State game just because those are always good games for us. And then the Parkersburg South because Parkersburg, that's just nice stadium.
That's funny because that's more of a home game for Wheeling than it is us.
Yeah. Well, they're a lot closer.
We're playing Wheeling it's a home game for us, but it's right down the road.
And it's technically that's going to be our senior night for people.
God, I feel so bad for those seniors. That's so unfortunate. Like you play 3 years, or if you redshirted, you've worked 4 years, you're on your 5th, and you're trying to close out your college football career strong, and then you only get to play at your home games at high school football fields. Like it's kind of unfortunate. At least some of them are nice.
No, and they are nice. I think, and that's why they chose the ones that they have chosen too, is because one, obviously the location, and then as a marketing guy, I'm gonna assume looking at numbers we do really well in these areas. Recruiting or academic. Recruiting both sports and academically. Or even it could be they could be going off of social media, TV hits. It could be off of a bajillion things, but I would say it more has to do with that than anything, because they kind of make no sense geographically.
No, but I know Parkersburg South. I don't know about. I haven't been to Roane County in a while. I don't remember their field being fantastic. Parkersburg South's got a nice field.
Roane County, last time I was at Roane County for track.
That was the last time I was there, yeah.
Junior and senior year, they were trash, bro.
And that was 4 years after I went there, because the last time I went there was 8th grade. And that was the last time I did track.
I don't want to say it's trash, but it's in no way collegiate level.
No. The guys rolling ankles and shit out there.
Oh my gosh. So interesting to see. But I wanted to throw that out there, and now you have that picture, so we'll start playing and whenever the time comes.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. It's gonna be some good shit.
Yes, I'm excited for, sports that are relative to my life a little bit more, that is the hardest thing.
Yeah, I didn't really appreciate the, having Glenville State, like having a collegiate football team so easily accessible until I was gone.
Yeah, that's how I am now. I'm, especially with working there, I'm realizing, how special some of these things are. We have, I'm working on this upcoming year's magazine now, and I'm first putting together the athletics section. So I'm doing the athletics recaps, and today I was able to put all of the I read a bunch of news article and formulated all of the recaps for each sport, and every year there seems to be one every year that's repetitive, but for the most part you got 2 or 3 every year that's kind of a surprise, holy shit, we just did that. Softball is the biggest surprise for me this year. They it's the best record in 32 years, 33 years that they've ever done. They ended up one of the weeks they were ranked first in the national whatever national or sectional tournament they were. it's just crazy good, and their coach won Coach of the Year. They've been doing really incredible stuff, and it's been like kind of under the radar, but I've been paying a lot more attention comparative to when we were students, and I know that's still how it is, which kind of frustrating to me. But then I think about me as a student, and if I wasn't on the team or didn't have a friend directly related, I wasn't really paying attention at all.
Yeah. Speaking of teams doing very well, local teams doing very well, are the baseball team made it to states. I don't know where they're sitting now. But they made it to states, and I do want to make this announcement right now. And this is one I fucking have room to talk on. If you played high school baseball 10 years ago, like I did, and you went to a state tournament 10 years ago, like I did, nobody fucking cares. Don't, stop taking these moments from these kids and making it about you. Like, nobody cares if some fucking dude pushing 30 played in a high school tournament and lost, mind you. I'll go ahead and tell that. We didn't only lose, we got the shit kicked out of us. We got packed and smoked. We had no business being there.
And what was that? Probably a 2.5 hour drive that you had to make for that? Like,
to get the ass kicked off of us. Now, I stayed silent about the last group that went to states. I stayed relatively silent about that until our closing minutes. I won't stay silent about this one. I was there. It doesn't matter anymore. It matters for the guys that are doing it now. It doesn't matter for the guys that did it 10 years ago. It doesn't.
No.
Like, no. I was there. Doesn't matter to me. Shouldn't matter to the rest of these guys. You should have better shit to do by now.
I appreciate you saying that, Wyatt.
Yeah. Thank you.
First of all, I was also there. I went to those games. I went to that specific game where they lost. Like, I remember that. We watched a guy crash his motorcycle. Whenever.
Oh, that was before we didn't make it to states. That one.
Oh, okay. Was that sectionals?
Yeah, that was regionals. That was if we had won that game, we would have gone. Yeah, and
that's
those guys whooped our asses too.
That's even funnier.
Those guys whooped our asses too. That pitcher was throwing heat. He was chucking like 90 miles an hour. I hope he's doing well.
I'm sure he is.
Yeah, I'm sure he's probably working construction somewhere. Probably just some random dude.
I bet he's not on Facebook talking about things he did 12 years ago that were actually slightly impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mean to. I have no room to throw shade because I wasn't on the baseball team, but I have room to throw shade as somebody that constantly talks about high school and his high school memories and how great they were and how much I loved high school. I've never once said I want to physically go back, and I'm certainly not going on Facebook talking about guys. Do you remember how awesome this specific thing was?
You remember how awesome our baseball team was a long time ago?
Or anything that it was. I look at the people that we know that are actually extremely successful, both high school, collegiate, and beyond in some things, and yet they're not going back reminiscing about anything. They're trying to constantly grow themselves and set further personal records or personal goals and achieve them rather than focus on the things that didn't. And here's the thing. You just went to states. You just went to states.
Yeah.
Yeah. You didn't even win.
I wouldn't even say didn't even win. I would say didn't even put up a fight. The shit kicked out of us. Now I think it's worth noting, I'm not talking about this current team. I don't know what this current team has done. I do want to congratulate them for going to states. Yeah. It's a big deal. It's a big deal for them. These teenage boys that are in high school that are accomplishing this big thing. Currently. It is a huge deal for them. It is.
Yes.
I'm not taking anything away from them. But any of them from a decade ago should not be a big deal to anybody that were on those teams.
No.
No. Like, if that was your height of your life, then you should keep like climbing. Like, you know what I mean?
Yep.
That's
You know what's really funny
Yeah.
is that I surveyed one of the crew chiefs that I worked with whenever I surveyed was a primary guy on the 2001 state championship team that they had. And in the 2 years that I worked, he was only with us for a short time. So the 2 years that I worked with this guy, he only mentioned his state championship once. And whenever mentioning that, he was more talking about the douchebags that was on his team than he was talking about, hey guys, hey dude.
I bet I know some of the douchebags that are on his team.
You know exactly. You could, if I gave you 5 tries, you would guess the 3 that he mentioned first try. All 3 first try, I bet.
I know for a fact I'd at least get one of them.
No, you definitely. You would get 2 of them, I think.
I would have got one of them
No,
10 years
I think
ago.
you'd get 3 of them. Yeah.
I got one of them 10 years ago.
Now
Oh,
he says.
shit.
Now he's totally cool. He just says, high school ego and how shit went. And I said, no, I totally get it. I could see it at the time. You know what I mean? You know what I mean because specifically the one guy I'm assuming.
Yeah.
But it's just ironic because he did something that for our high school actually is rare. And
Oh yeah, and especially at the time too. Like back then, we weren't good at anything.
yeah.
Like,
And
I don't know
worked
what happened to where we are now. Like we're good at a few things now. We weren't really good at anything back then. Like that was rare to see us or see that high school's name around there.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's it's just interesting to see the dynamic and the like where certain people's mindsets are with the importance or just like I guess it's not even a fault. Like it just more shows like where they put their importance on events. Like it's not even necessarily a fault. It's more just an identification to the type of person that they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like it's cool to reminisce. Talk to your buddies about whatever storytelling, what have you. Like we do here. But
that's our life, man. That's my life.
But yeah, it like there's just something about like. Oh, like you just barely touch on these kids that are actually doing something big now. You know what I mean? They're like, the boys are going to States. Anyway, here's this big long fucking thing about how cool we were.
Yep.
Like, dude, get out of here.
It's
like, nobody cares anymore.
No. Nobody cared at the moment. Like, few people cared at the moment, but the only people that did are the people that were with you. So you didn't have to talk about it to that extent.
Mm-hmm.
And now, like, the thing for me is like, I mean, aside from my personal life, I am in no way succeeding or at the point to where I thought I would be at this age, and yet, like, it's just weird to me to see the people that are just stuck in high school. Like,
I know, man. Like it's kind of frightening because it's like, damn, you don't like. And it's weird whenever you know some of these people and you're like, dude, I know you have more important things in your life than that. Like, why does this matter? Like, I know you have better shit to do.
Or you could have more, like, if you prioritized or put your thoughts towards something else, you would be much happier and not be thinking about these specific, like,
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, going into specifically the person or I'm assuming that you're talking about.
I'm sure there was more than one. I think I only saw one, maybe 2, but I'm sure there was.
But
I'm sure there was a handful.
He, I know, has done multiple things, and has multiple things going on in his life that are far beyond anything that happened. For him, it was more than. For him, it would be 11 years ago. At this point, or 12 years ago, because, but it's just, I don't know. It's just, it's weird to me to see or to realize the people that are like, okay, I guess a better way to put this, whenever I see those things, I think that people aren't content with the projection of the life that they put themselves on.
Right.
I think they start thinking like, man, if I could go back, I could do this, and it would just change this, and then I would be here, instead of thinking like, that was awesome, and look where I'm at, and this is where I want to be, though, or just being appreciative of being like, I had some awesome times in high school, and like, let's that's just it. Like, that's how I look at it with us, is we talk heavy about high school times, and I mean, eventually, like, if that post show ever happens, or just throughout the the duration of this entire podcast and anything else, anytime we get together in the past, over the past decade, we always bring up high school stories. But
sure,
it's about reminiscing and not about like, oh man, I wish we could just do it.
Yeah,
like,
it just gets in weird territory to me when these grown adults take a very serious accomplishment for these kids and make it about themselves. Like, it's just odd. It would be like if two guys got out of high school right now, started a podcast, and it blew up, and then we were just like, well, you know what, we're funnier than these guys, we should have done that back in the day. Like, no, that's fucking, like, let them have their moment, god damn it. Like, let whoever have their moment. They don't even have to be children. Like, if somebody else is having the moment and you don't have anything to say other than congratulations, then shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
that's really it. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't have anything to say other than that's awesome, congratulations, I hope this goes well. That's it. That's about the whole list of things that, like, make sense to me to say. And if you don't feel that way, then don't say anything.
And that's the exact that's the issue with everybody now, and just with just the common trend of interactions is, you can't be happy for somebody, and it's okay to not be happy for somebody, but if you're not happy for somebody, you're automatically hating on them, instead of trying to figure out, man, how can I just reach my next level or my next goal, or do whatever like, why am I jealous of this person, and can I correct whatever those issues may be, or can I achieve whatever it is that is making me jealous?
Yeah. That's a good one. That's what I was about to say. Like, that jealousy is normal and it's natural, but it's like, it shouldn't be, conveyed in a way like, oh, fuck that guy. Like, that's not right. It should be like, oh, I want to do that. Yep. You know what I mean? Like that's fine. Like, oh, I want to do that too. That's awesome. Yeah. But yeah, a lot of people, a lot of people just jump straight to like, oh, that guy's doing well, fuck him. Like, no, unless they're a bad person, that, then sure. But you know what I mean? Like, if somebody has an accomplishment and you don't have anything to say other than congratulations, then don't say anything. You're wasting your time.
Yep, 100%. It's selfish of you, and it really shows more of a lack of character on yourself than it does anything else. Because, well, everybody, you've heard it forever, and everybody's mom said it. If you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all, man.
I think that's actually true. I live by those words a lot. I don't say a lot of things at work. But yeah, man, that's fucking something. But yeah, anyway, circling back, congratulations to the boys, and I hope they kick ass. And if they already played and I missed it and I didn't hear about the news, I am sorry. I am not keeping too much of track. I just saw that they made it. But congratulations. Yeah, it is awesome.
Hey, Faye. How are the boys doing in baseball? Did they win the first game? Their first game's Thursday. So by the time this comes out, they will have played their first game.
And hopefully have won this first game too. Yes.
So you are correct, and to go along with you, congratulations to you guys on making the states, and good luck.
Yeah, and good luck. And you know what? I have so much confidence in you that I will congratulate you for winning the first round right now. I hope I'm not wrong. Don't make me wrong.
They're pretty good. Dude. No,
I've heard that. I've heard they're very good. They're very well coached, which is
we got a guy on the inside. Jake is an assistant coach. He's the assistant coach.
Yes.
So we got a guy on the inside.
That made me feel so old. I showed that to Jocelyn too. I was like, look at this picture. I said, I played baseball with one of those coaches. I said, I feel so old. I played with one of those guys.
Jake and Faith are like best friends, like
Yeah.
best friends from working together and everything. And
Yeah, Jake's a good dude.
He told Faith, like, he's like, yeah, I kind of met Justin just because, well, he'd ride around with Wyatt, and I get rides to practice with Wyatt.
Yeah, he rode
And
to
I was
practice
like,
with me every day.
that is exactly how I met him. I said it was just out of coincidence. It wasn't out of, like, similar hobbies or anything like that. It was simply out of just riding. And then he's just a really good dude, and I think he thinks I'm a really good dude, so we just hit it off. And still to this day,
nice.
It's awesome. I love that dynamic.
Yeah, he's a stand-up guy. He kicks ass. I'm a big fan of him.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to Jake. Shout out to Jake. I think if they win, we should interview Jake. We should interview not even the head coach.
That's
just interview the one coach that we know.
You know what's funny is I could get the other coach on here as well, need be. Like, because Faith's really good friends with him, but my brother that just graduated is, like, best friends with this dude.
Really? That's
like,
awesome.
It's really funny. He's a really cool guy. But Jake would be a lot more fun.
Yeah.
So good luck to them.
Yes,
we'll rotate
absolutely.
over. This is just a side note. Going back a couple podcasts ago, Robbie Porco has been contacted. So, if he takes my deal or answers my message, we'll see if the Backroad Banter can sponsor an NIL deal with a D1 player.
Yeah. Yeah, and if he doesn't get back to us, then we should kick his ass. We should sue him for false advertisement.
If you don't get back to us, I do not blame you at all.
No, I don't either. I'm only making jokes.
Think about it. 2 weeks from now. Just give us a 2-week hiatus. Rethink it over. And I promise you'll maybe want to change your mind.
Hope so.
But we'll see. I don't know. I don't know how to reach out to him, so I just messaged his Instagram.
Oh, yeah, there you go. It's about all you can do.
Yeah, I don't think we'll get a response, but that's okay. That's okay.
That is definitely fine.
The attempt was made, and that's what I wanted people to know, that I follow through on my actions, at least to some extent, to an extent that I see, plausible outside of excruciating effort being put forth.
Yeah.
And I definitely don't think he would respond anyway, so I wasn't willing to put much forth.
Right.
Or forth much.
Yeah, if he does, that'd be great. If he doesn't, that's great too. But
You're welcome anytime, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll go ahead and I'll throw out another little announcement we didn't talk about on air. But we talked about, I've been cooking up ideas for. We're coming up on 6 months of this bitch, man. 6 long, grueling months. We actually hit that mark at the end of this month. Will be 6 full.
Yeah.
So what we planned, is a little half-year awards show, which I think is going to be a good, fun time. And that's going to be 3 weeks from now. That'll be episode 26, roughly 52 weeks in a year. I thought episode 26 was a good little day to start that. We'll have, we won't have very many, but we'll have some categories and some nominees and things, and we will share those either next week or the week after, and then we'll announce some winners on episode 26. And if you don't come get your trophy, we will hunt you down and kick your ass,
or keep them.
Yeah, or we might even not make them. That actually might be how far in advance that we go. We might even not create real trophies.
You know what? I'm only going to create a 3D design trophy until somebody shows up and asks for it.
We should create real trophies for ourselves.
That's what I want to do. I want to have them 3D printed. The only problem is I don't have the CAD software. So most 3D printers use CAD software.
Yeah.
And I learned some CAD software from surveying, because that's what most surveying stuff is ran through. But I don't have it, and it costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
So I thought about just finding somebody that makes a generic trophy and then inscribing our, our award names and the everything to coincide with each one. But with that, like he said, our hope right now, it's going to be a short little 6-month one, but eventually it'll be just a yearly thing. And every year we'll do these awards, and they'll be pretty big, and we'll be dressed up, and we'll look nice, and hopefully, if nobody else, eventually maybe my daughter will accept some awards on some people's behalfs. Our cats,
Right.
a beer bottle or two, and whoever else may show up in between. But I'm very excited for it. I'm gonna be honest. I think what did we call them?
The roadies.
The roadies.
The roadies. Yeah.
They're the roadies.
Yeah.
They're the roadies.
So I thought it was good.
Yes.
I thought it was good. I thought it was kind of funny.
Very much for our podcast. The Backroad Banter is all about it, and as somebody that's a marketing guy, I love it because it goes right with it.
I think it's pretty solid. It's got part of the name in it, and it also means something else. So that's pretty cool.
Yep. Well, I'm excited to see what awards we come up with for that and how that comes.
Yeah. I've got a few ideas, and we'll throw out. I'd say I'll throw out categories next week, nominees the week after that, and then winners.
I'm very excited. We need to advertise the fuck out of episode 26 because I will put on a full suit. And
that would actually be fucking sweet. I think we should do that.
I am 100% doing that. I'm dressing up to the T. This is going to be the Tony Awards minus a little bit. Except I think we might have a Tony Award presented at the Roadies.
It's quite possible. It is quite possible.
Fattest bastard around.
Yeah.
We
biggest, reddest sumbitch to exist.
And what's odd, Tony might get it.
That is true.
I don't know, but I'm excited about it.
Yeah,
that'll be a lot of fun.
It should be a fucking blast. I hope it is. Just with the moments and conversations we've had, the characters that have been introduced, and I say these characters like they're not real people. These real things that we've talked about that have become lore for us, that have become part of the. If we ever get a good body of listeners, they're going to be in 100 episodes. About 100 episodes from now, they're going to be like, what the fuck are these guys talking about? Who's Jonathan?
What's great is you'll be able to go and buy the Jonathan sticker, but also I'll talk about Jonathan any day. I love Jonathan. Wyatt, I'm working on a new Jonathan sticker. This is a simplified. You know how the last one was pretty detailed in terms of the tortoise form? This one is just a simple tortoise, and he's holding a road sign that says the Backroad Banter Podcast.
That's pretty
cool.
And
he's just smiling at you, and I just figured that would be nice on a freaking mug or on a water bottle or something. So,
yeah, for sure.
We're going to work on that for Series 2 as well as a bunch, but, that's months away. I'm going to let these Series 1 hit out real hard. I wanted to ask you, dude, before moving on to anything, how I ended up leaving a little bit into it. How was the streaming last week?
It was solid. I don't know if anybody joined in, and then I ended up getting to a mission in Grand Theft Auto 3 that really pissed me off, and then we threw in the towel. But yeah, Celie was there for the whole thing, which was pretty cool. It was cool to have, just an extra voice, so I wasn't sitting there talking to myself in person and into the void on the internet. Because I'm not sure if anybody jumped in. We didn't do it very long, though. I mean, I think we only did it another 20, 30 minutes after you left. It's still a work in progress. It's not even a work in progress. It's mostly like a trying to fit it into my schedule type deal. You know what I mean? Because I have time to do it. But the times that I have to do it, most of the time, are not prime times to live stream anything. Like, I'm off the next 2 days, which, people listening to this will be like, oh, Saturday, Sunday, that's a great time. No, right now, real time, it's Tuesday. So I'm off Wednesday, Thursday. Those aren't good times to catch people for a live stream. You know what I mean? It's just not, especially midday. Like, most
Yeah.
people are at work. Most people are not off the next 2 days.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's really just trying to, like, find the optimal time to do it. But, yeah, we'll get around there and we'll get some more going, and then it'll eventually be fun. I might skip over Grand Theft Auto 3 entirely just so I can have fun with it, because that was brutal.
Yeah.
I loved Grand Theft Auto 3 when I was younger, and I didn't realize how much now. Like, I mean, it's just because Grand Theft Auto's evolved so much, and I grew up on the San Andreas and 4 and 5. It's crazy to think that I grew up on Grand Theft Auto 5, and there's still not even a 6 out, but...
Dude, we did, though. We've played that game since the beginning of high school.
Yeah, I think we were freshmen whenever it came out.
I actually had a thought of whenever we're able to do the in-person podcast to branch out and start doing some sports games, and we'll do it to where me and you are just playing each other, and we'll just stream our school, and we'll each put in a mic, and we'll just play from there. That way they can hear both of our audio, and it's like a real old high school game, dude. I feel like, I mean, I haven't played 2K in years, but it's 2K. It'd be fun to just hop back in and play, bro.
That could be some good shit. That could be it could be good for 2K. It could be good whenever they come out with a new UFC game, whenever that may be. I think that'd be pretty sweet.
That would be a lot of fun.
Because I'm kind of burnt out on UFC 5. It's been out for too long, and
I haven't played UFC since UFC 3.
Really?
Mm-mm. Not heavy. It was UFC 3 Conor McGregor.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then that I thought that was. That's the one that
it was him with the 2 belts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but UFC 5 was all right. It's just I just got burnt out on it. You know, it's been out for like, I think 3 years now, maybe close to 4. No, 3. It came out in 2022, I believe. But
Well, I remember playing a little bit there, like over at your mom's when you'd have it down. Or I really remember watching you play with your like character, your person.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just, for me, those games, streaming would be different because it's obviously more for entertainment.
Yeah.
The games for me are less entertaining because they're kind of the same.
Right. Yeah.
But I also don't know them. I'm not a gamer, so I don't know them to the extent. I don't know how much they are different. I'm sure they're different. I'm sure they're improved. But to me, I don't see enough improvements. They're like the Madden games. I don't see enough improvements to where it's like, oh, okay.
Well, it's because they're made by EA. Because they're made by the same people. That's why. The EA just doesn't give a fuck. Most of these publishers don't give a fuck because they have these exclusive deals with whoever they're making games for, and nobody else can make the games. Like, that's why I don't want to say 2K's fallen off. 2K fell off for a while, and then I think it got a little bit better. But that's what happens when you get rid of NBA Live. Like, NBA Live and 2K, in my opinion, growing up, used to be legitimate competition with each other. And then you take one of them away, and then they just stop giving a shit because it's like, well, if you want to play basketball, what else are you going to play? You know what I mean?
You know what's crazy is the Street V6 games were super, like, I love the Street V6 games. Dude.
Yeah.
Those basketball games were freaking killer games, and they offered you, like, you know, a very unrealistic adaptation of basketball. But you still got to play with your favorite players. You still got to customize stuff. And it was, those games were dope. I love those games, man.
I always like those old Blitz the League games. Do you remember those? Those football games where you just murdered people?
I like those. I like the Backyard Brawl games. Man. Yeah, old game. Early, or not early, it was actually late 2000s, had some really good competition in sports games. Like the late early 2000s, you know. Yeah,
they really did. God, sports games used to be like, for their time, good. Now, if they were to like release those same games right now, sure, they probably wouldn't be as good. But just sports games aren't keeping up with the advancements in technology. Yeah. They're just getting by with the bare minimum because they know they can.
Yeah, I mean, there's no need. Yeah, because people are gonna buy them no matter what. And either way, if you don't improve them, you're still the only option on the market. It's sports games have become similar to to everything in America, to where you have a monopoly in each market and you can't really control it because that guy controls so much that even his shit products sell.
Yeah, 100%.
It's rather frustrating for me because a lot of the good games go under the radar, the games that used to get a little bit of publicity because they were, lower developers or whatnot. And now it's only the major games, and similar to movies, major games can flop really freaking hard.
Yes. Yes, they sure can.
Speaking of movies, I'm sorry I'm talking a lot here.
No, dude, you're good.
Good transition. I watched Captain America Brave New World.
I fucking did too. I liked it.
Awesome. Okay, so let's talk about this. Awesome. Okay, so I enjoyed it too. I had some issues about it.
Yeah.
Overall, just as a movie and just as a Marvel movie, I enjoyed it. Not going in it as like a fan that knows a little bit and knows some things or is expecting some things. Just as a movie. I haven't watched a Marvel movie in a while.
Yeah. They have a lot of them haven't been worth watching. That one compared to a lot of stuff that's come out post Endgame, Captain America's pretty good.
Yep. I have some questions though. Okay, so 1. Red Hulk. The fact that he is that strong through simply taking pills that have gamma radiation in them. Red Hulk is supposed to be like, if not as strong, he's supposed to be the closest to regular Hulk in terms of strength. It seemed like he was fucking just as strong, if not stronger, at points. 2, it's just the way that he took it, I have so many questions, because how is he obtaining that much gamma radiation without realizing it until the exact point that he's like, you know what? Now's a good time to get angry.
Really. That's kind of what I thought too. Going into the movie, when I found out, like when they explained what the pills were, I thought this guy was going to say, all right, fuck it, and take all of them at once. Yeah. That's what I thought was going to happen. That's how I thought he was going to Hulk out, is I thought he was going to learn what they were, and he's like, all right, fuck this. I'm taking all of them.
Well, whenever they revealed that he had been taking them, I was like, oh, so he knows, and he's been the Hulk throughout the entire presidential campaign, like running for office. No, that wasn't it either. And all of a sudden, he's just... So, like, and then... Okay, so that aside, that was one issue. And then the other issue that I have is just because I have an issue with it. Actor was good, storyline was good, so the movie is good. But as a Marvel fan, I don't like Hawkeye not being Hawkeye. I don't like Hawkeye, or not Hawkeye.
Yeah, I was about to say Hawkeye. I don't remember seeing
Hawkeye.
Him in there.
Sorry, I have him because I just read a big article on Jeremy Renner's book about his, experiencing death after he almost died.
Oh yeah, I was about to say he almost fucking snowplowed himself to death or something.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It was about that. He wrote this book afterwards and just talking about his rehabilitation. But this article that I was reading, dude, I'm going on a tangent. Sorry, I could go into it because it was really good. Like,
well, I bet it was.
I'd like to read that guy's book. But I forget where I was at. I don't know. Overall, Falcon. I don't like how the Falcon was. Which I had to look it up because I didn't watch the Winter Soldier show, the Falcon and Winter Soldier show. So I understood it afterwards, after I got the backstory on it. But I just don't like that the Falcon's not red, white, and blue. I don't like the Falcon is not actually the Falcon. And no offense to him, bro. You're a shitty Captain America. Like, the real Falcon. You're a shitty Captain America.
That's kind of what I thought. I was like, the original Captain America would never. He said, hey, kid, I know you don't know what the fuck you're doing, but let's go. Goes from the beginning of the movie telling him he's not ready and all this, and then he's like, oh, fuck, I really need help.
Yeah, might as well, dude. Hey. Yeah. He basically asked him, do you have a family? Do you have a wife? Do you have kids? No? Cool, you're good with dying.
Yeah. All right, pack your shit. Yeah. Pack your shit and let's get out of here.
There were multiple points during that where I was like, okay, well, let's take the fight scenes. First of all, you took no super serum. You took nothing that enhanced your abilities.
Yeah, and they even mentioned that in the movie too, and yet there's still points of the movie where I'm like, how the fuck do you do that?
Yeah, and he keeps getting beat up by the Hulk. First of all, one punch from the Hulk by a normal person, and you are
ass whooped.
You are dead. Let alone continuing to get, like, you're not bleeding a little bit out of your nose like somebody just whacked you at the bar. Like, your face is done.
Yeah.
At that
chest is caved in.
So many points I was like, all right, no. And then he's like, oh, I got one wing left. I was like, cool movie, cool story. But it's the Marvel fan in me that's just like, bro, this shit's getting out of hand. Like, it's not... It took it from comic book accurate to just horse shit.
I don't like... I liked most of the movie. I don't like how the fight ended. He just talked him down.
Which would never happen with somebody that is... It's the first time he's ever turned into the Hulk. Within that, he is raging because he's the Red Hulk, who is literally more angry and temperamental. Makes no sense. No sense. He's you know what?
He said, guys, I got one more trick up my sleeve. You shouldn't do this. And the Hulk's like, fuck.
The son, yeah.
You got me.
He just Black Widow pulled out his hoo-haws and
he told him the sun was getting real low, and
sun's getting real low, big guy. You better
Dude, you have no idea how fucking hard I would have laughed if he would have said that. Not even like, oh, that's a funny point in the movie, but like a laugh like, you got to be fucking kidding me.
I almost wish they would have, because that's all they did was knock off every movie that has a female. So you can go back to the original, or not original, but like our original 2003 Hulk movie.
Yeah.
There's always a woman that talks him down. It's just really ironic that somehow, some way, this guy that he really wanted to kill talked him down. Every other time it has to be the girl that he's absolutely madly in love with as the human being Bruce Banner.
Yeah, but this time it was the guy that he just got done beating the shit out of. He just got done whooping his ass, had him dead to rights, and he's like, oh, hold on now. I think we should talk this through.
You're right. I forgot I'm the president.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. He said, fuck yeah, I'm the president, aren't I?
I'm gonna put this tie back on. Yeah, let me put this tie back on. I'm sorry, dude.
He said I'm gonna get all kinds of bad PR if I fucking kill this guy.
I thought it was funny how he was like, it was really nice of you to step down. First of all, do you think he had an option to step down as president? Like,
yeah, he was like, that was mighty big of you. I'm like, what other choice did he have? Were they gonna be like,
mighty big.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. But it was a fun movie. Honestly, I would have enjoyed it a lot more if I was just, like, if we were 14 watching it. That movie would have kicked ass. Just being a kid, not really knowing and not caring. But overall, still not bad. I've heard mixed reviews on it, but I'm very excited to watch what's the most recent one that's out right now? The crew following the Black Widow movie,
Thunderbolts.
I'm super, super, super excited for Thunderbolts. Even with all the, like I said, all the mixed reviews I've heard, I've talked to people in person that's watched it. I'm excited, dude. I'm excited. It's something new, and that's what's getting me right now. Yeah. We haven't seen anything new since we were in high school. Like anybody actually knew since high school.
Yeah, dude. They kind of backed themselves into a corner making Infinity War as good as they did. Because I remember even watching Endgame, I was like, man, Endgame was all right, but like Infinity War was better.
Bro, I remember us watching Endgame and talking about Endgame, and Infinity War, hands down, like Infinity War is it's the best superhero movie ever made.
I believe so too, and it was so different too, because it was like, what do you mean they lost? I remember walking out of that theater like, what the fuck?
Everybody that nobody knew exactly what was happening in that movie, and that's what made it great. Was like, because you always see all the teasers, especially if you're like us and you were into all the Instagram pages that followed all the superhero stuff, and you're like, oh man, that's a really good idea. I bet that will happen. And then they just no. They had it, dude. Man, I'm glad that we grew up when we did, because unfortunately movies are just dead right now. I'm hoping that they come back. I think they'll come back eventually. But I'm glad we grew up when we did, because we grew up at like the end of the era of like the movie of blockbuster type of movies. And the memories that we've already mentioned specific memories of going to theaters on various movies, but it's just cool that we have those. Like, I didn't realize how rare they would be until now, now talking to my brother, who is 18 years old, graduated high school, and he has one memory, and it was the one that he just made this year, the Minecraft movie. Yeah, and I'm like, dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, because we had one all the time. It was like, there didn't even have to be a good movie out. It was just like, fuck, we don't want to hang around town tonight. Like let's go to the movies Friday.
Let's go see a movie.
And let's go to the movies Friday after school. Like, wait a couple hours, go up there, catch a movie around 8:00. You know what I mean? Get back middle of the night. Like, make an evening out of it. And that's a shame that the kids around there now, it's kind of a lost art form, because that was that was the thing we did. Like, that was it. Like, other than that, it was just getting inebriated at the house.
Yeah, it's literally if we weren't in our sports season that we were playing, it was basically like, how can we just fuck off until we're in our sports season that we're playing?
Just finding shit to fill time. But I remember I made a core movie theater memory this past year, just last year. Whenever I went I think it was because of where I was at and who I went with, but it was when I went with Josh to see Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
Like, for one, I thought the movie was awesome. And then it was also just a good time. We went to a really nice fucking movie theater. We went at like 10 p.m. on a Thursday. There wasn't anybody in there hardly. Like, it was just a good time. We went to the store.
That's awesome.
Before we went, and it was a good old time, yeah.
Yeah, dude, that is great.
Other than that, they've been very few and far between, and I think it does have something to do with movies sucking.
I've watched. Well, you just know me. I'm a movie, like, that's where my stuff's at, is movies. And the companies that are making movies don't want to take the risk because they don't have any, like, obviously, like, I mean, fuck. At one time, I thought that my DVD collection was going to be a good, just, like, easy couple grand sell whenever I sell it, just because the amount of movies I have and everything. And now I realize that they're worth maybe $1 a piece, if that. So, like, they have to make the money in theaters. And if you're not a Mission Impossible, or if you're not somebody that's freaking able to spend 5 to 25, like, no lie, 5 to, no, I said 25, it's actually 25 to like $75 million on advertising to really pump that thing out, then you're not going to get the publicity to really build up the public awe of the movie in order for them to go and see it.
Yeah.
So Minecraft is the best example of that. The amount of money that Minecraft spent just on pushing that movie out was far more than they should have made within the tickets. Yeah. I went to see it with everybody. Like, you could go back and watch my review of that movie. That movie was trash. That movie was bad. If it was not for seeing it with my nephew and, as you just said, with your brother, making a core memory out of it that you'll hopefully remember for a long time, there's nothing about it. Talking to my brother, who was a big fan of Minecraft, and in it, like, there were things that he enjoyed, but it was not a good movie.
Right. Yeah.
But that movie made stupid money. You can look at Lilo and Stitch. that movie apparently is not too good in terms of real core fans.
Yeah, I've
because
heard
of
the
what's
same
changed. But it's the first movie of this year that's gonna top $1 billion made worldwide, and it's because it has, like, we all grew up on it. So it's got 30-year-olds all the way to 5-year-olds that want to watch this thing.
Yeah,
It's really it's crazy. This is just taking a break on that, but I want to show you this. I'm gonna blur out the picture. I'm gonna blur out the faces of these people. This is obviously, or I'm gonna assume. I don't know. Obviously, I'm gonna assume not in America. Probably somewhere in South America. At the Stitch premiere. I'm blurring out the children's faces. I'm not blurring out Stitch's face because you can't tell who he is. There were multiple pictures in the post that I saw of this guy posing with people.
really.
And people excited about it.
Was he like working there, or like was he like a mascot or something, or did he just show up dressed as Stitch?
I hope he just showed up, because if he's working there, then that shows the difference in public company funds or private company funds in third world countries compared to first world countries like the United States of America, because that is easily one of the worst. That would be a bad Ewok costume if he took acid. Like that looks like Sully from Monsters Inc. the rabbit.
Dude, yeah, that guy's terrifying. I would be scared shitless to take a picture with that dude if I was a kid. I'd be scared shitless to take a picture with that dude right now.
Well, first of all, he's not even smiling. He's throwing up the peace sign, which most certainly means, hey, I'm on drugs right now.
Yeah. Yeah, he might be. Might be why he's in the suit.
Well, you're at a movie theater.
He probably wasn't even going to the premiere. He was just fucked up, dressed like Stitch.
They grabbed him from outside and they're like, come with me.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
Yeah, that guy looks nuts.
Yeah.
That's one scary
Crazy,
bastard.
crazy.
His hands aren't even blue. He didn't even go all in.
I don't figure. Yeah, babe. Well, I don't know.
That's fucking funny as hell.
I don't know. Just creepy. But movies going downhill. I'm looking forward to. I've got a few that I'm very much looking forward to, though. The next one up on my list, aside from the ones that are currently out, is probably Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I'm interested in that one. Just a big Fantastic Four guy. I don't care how good or bad it is. I would like to see it anyway.
Yeah, the Human Torch was always my fucking.
Yeah.
It was one of my favorite characters.
Then he became Captain America, the fucking bastard.
Dude, that is the funniest recast. Dude, he is the funniest recast. I think he's a funnier recast than Ryan Reynolds being.
And then he was Human Torch again.
Yeah.
He was Human Torch.
He reprised his
again.
role
Yeah.
20 years later. Yeah. Dude, that's
And
the
then
funniest
they
scene when he
killed
said,
the shit out of him.
he said, I did say that. I wouldn't say that. And then they replayed it at the end.
It's a
and he
post-credit scene. It was like
She-
literally word for word. That was
Yeah,
the best thing ever.
She can suck on my...
Dude, he went crazy. He said word for word. Whenever they killed him, fucking Deadpool goes, do you know what he was doing to the budget?
Dude, they broke the wall so many times. That movie's awful.
That movie was exactly what it needed to be. It was like a closing the door for all the Fox movies that never got to close their door, and I thought that was pretty sweet.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Like,
they were very smart on it.
Yeah.
Well, I heard that in what they did with that was also open a lot of doors for this upcoming Avengers.
Oh yeah.
This Doomsday. I saw the list. I have the list. It's retarded the amount of people. Like, I'm almost worried. I know it's gonna be amazing, but
Yeah.
it's like you guys are continuing to make these Avengers movies so good that the rest of the Marvel movies are shit.
Yeah. All the rest of them are just filler.
Yep. You're tanking yourself by
Yeah.
doing so.
Yeah, you're making people do homework and pay to do their homework so they know what's going on in the big movie when it comes out.
Yep. Especially because they're not sticking to fucking script. They're not sticking, like, they actually have script with this stuff that they can stick to.
Yeah.
At least to a certain point. I guess I don't know where they're at now. But I know, well, they're at Doomsday, so I know they have script. Doomsday came out in the fucking 90s.
Right.
So they have things they can go off of. But I also know so little about the actual comics that I'm going to have to do homework anyways to make sure that I know. At least knowledgeable, you know.
Yes.
We did our bracket there a couple weeks ago.
We did.
I also watched on Amazon Prime. There's a documentary called Earnhardt. It's a series, 4-part series. I highly recommend that for anybody that's a NASCAR fan, that's an Earnhardt fan. I watched the entire series over the past couple days, and I still think that we were right to say Richard Petty won.
Yeah. Yeah, he still didn't come pick up the belt.
But Dale definitely finishes a lot closer to a second after me. Like, if I would have watched that beforehand, I could have made a better argument for Dale, only because the impact of what he is and who he is like, fuck, dude. Like, if it wasn't for the amount of wins Petty won, but then I look at it and I like, especially after watching this documentary and seeing all kinds of stuff afterwards, like, looking at the racers that Petty was racing against, the type of cars that he was racing against, it's almost a little bit like looking at Bill Russell and being like, taking nothing away from him.
Yeah.
I love Bill Russell. But Bill Russell being like, I got 10 NBA championships. Yeah, but you played.
It was like, bro, you only had 12 teams in the league, bro.
Yeah. And you played 6 D3 teams realistic. Like, you played teams that were jokes. It was.
You played a bunch of damn plumbers and carpenters and shit.
Yeah.
Only literally 12 teams worth of them, yeah.
Literally. So it just it put it in another perspective for me. And then also just as a NASCAR fan, dude, opens up because it's all Dale Jr. and his family talking about their life growing up. And then in between, it's everything that Dale Sr. had done. But oh my gosh, dude, it's so captivating and so it was emotional at times, and it was just as somebody that's a NASCAR fan and thought that I knew a fair amount, especially about him, just because of the household that I grew up in. It's just awesome, dude. It was whoever it is that filmed that did very, very good with it, both in showing the positive and negative sides of Dale, and it really showed the humanity of him more than anything. And they asked the hard questions, and they let Dale and Kelly and Carrie, say where he failed and where he didn't fail, and it was just it was just really cool. It was just really cool. I highly recommend it for everybody. It's just called Earnhardt, but
I'll have to check that out. I saw like a trailer for it, or at least it was a little clip from it. It was where Dale Jr. was talking about how he would like grow up drawing a bunch of race cars and shit, and his parents thought he was into art, so they bought him a bunch of art supplies, tried to send him to art school. Like, man, I hate to disrespect his parents like that, but how fucking stupid do you have to be? If your kid's drawing a bunch of pictures of race cars, his interest is not art.
Yeah.
If he's drawing a bunch of pictures, his interest is art.
Yeah.
But if he's only drawing race cars, his interest probably is not art. Read the room, god damn it. Yeah. Especially when your dad's a race car driver.
Yeah, when your dad
like, how does that come out of left field? You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's crazy, dude. I didn't know. Yeah. I don't want to give it away. It's just, there's so much stuff in there. Like, I didn't know about Dale's upbringing, Dale Jr.'s upbringing. Like, I didn't know so much about them. Like, it's crazy that he turned out how he did. And, just really cool. Just very, very cool. And you're a NASCAR fan, so I recommend it to you. But I know the one other person that watches this, Regina, you would also like this. So you should check it out.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, what do you got, man?
Dude, I'm gonna switch over to sports, man. I was gonna lead with football, but I'll go with football last because I got a little bit of a rant to go on about football. Or not even about football specifically. I texted you about it when it happened, but we'll get there in a second. The Pacers and the Thunder are going to the finals. We're locked. We've got a set fucking NBA finals, and I don't know if you remember this. This is digging way back in the trenches. The Eastern Conference Finals MVP was our boy Jeff. That was our boy Jeff. I don't know if you remember that or not, but back in the day, the very first 2K game that Pascal Siakam was on. I think your mic's muted, Justin. Yeah, the very first 2K game that Pascal Siakam was on, he was like put in mid-season, so they didn't have commentary for him, and we didn't know how to properly pronounce his name, so Justin called him Jeff.
And that's a commentary is very important with professional sports because the names are just out of there.
Yeah, like his name, you look at it and you hear it said, like whenever you hear it, it's said like it's spelled.
Yep, exactly.
But you never know that you never know that it's going to be like that whenever you're watching sports. You never know where these people are actually from. You don't know how they pronounce certain words and letters and combinations of letters. Like, so we didn't know. It could have been a combination of anything. We didn't know how to pronounce his first name. Like, we just called him Jeff.
Looked like Jeff to me. I don't know.
And it stuck. It stuck even after they put commentary in for him. It stuck in Toronto.
Yeah, I was going to say, we called him that his entire career, I believe.
Yeah, it stuck in Toronto. He is now Eastern Conference Finals MVP. Congratulations, Jeff.
Dude, that is the funniest thing. I know you had to see it. The video of whenever they announced it, of Tyrese, like walking up, like it's rookie. I wish they wouldn't have cut from him because I want to know like
his actual reaction.
Like, was he doing that as a smartass or was he actually thinking it's got to be me?
Yeah,
like, it's got to be. I'm gonna be honest. Me personally, it upsets me. It just goes back to the continuous rant that we talked about with sports news across all angles. I haven't fucking heard or seen anything about Pascal. So for him, for me, it really should have been Tyrese, and that frustrates me that they've only shown and talked about him, and yet he's not the MVP. Like,
yeah, it's like either they should have been talking about Siakam more, or Tyrese Halliburton should have won the Eastern Conference Finals MVP. I didn't watch enough of the series to know which one of those two it is, but they did something wrong because you're right. I didn't hear a thing about him all series, all playoffs.
I put it on the announcers and on the what their script is for each broadcast, because I don't believe that the NBA would vote and give it to him unjustly, because that just doesn't happen. Because there would be first of all, also on social media, it'd be everywhere. So it's to me, it just shows again. No, we're only gonna show what we think will get a bajillion likes, rather than, hey guys, whether you like it or not, this right here is what's happening. This is what's going on, and it's. I don't know, dude. As a sports fan, I'm becoming less and less of a sports fan, and I'm just becoming a independent journalist in my own right.
Yeah, like because they take athletes and they just push their favorites, regardless of what they are or aren't doing. They just take specific athletes and they push their favorites. Professional wrestling style. They find their favorite character, and then that in their mind is the guy.
Yep.
no matter what he does or doesn't do. I'm not trying to shit on Tyrese Halliburton. He's a very good basketball player, but that just goes to show, like, this guy, Pascal Siakam won the Eastern Conference Finals MVP, but before he did that, you didn't hear anything other than what Tyrese Halliburton was doing.
Yep.
Because that's their guy. That's the guy that they're trying to slap on the face of the Pacers to make people watch when these finals start.
And the fact that he started walking forward just proved to me that exact. It proved to me that exact. Simply because the arrogance, like, and it's not arrogance on him if it's kind of been instilled and pushed into him. It's almost like a false narrative. He's got a false narrative in his mind of, like, I am, like, he is the guy, obviously. But, like, he must think that he's the LeBron of the team of, like,
right.
If it wasn't for me, it'd be nothing. When, honestly, fucking Jeff has been a rock star on every team that he's been on, bro.
Jeff has made an impact.
Dude, he has. And him winning that, I don't know. It just proves it more. But more than anything, it just that's what came to my mind was, why haven't I seen his highlights? Like, he's had to have some crazy highlights or stats or something across the, So,
right.
I don't know. I'm interested to see their Thursday. By the time this comes out, finals will be started. But I'm excited to see what'll happen. Maybe we can get a finals in or something on.
That would be nice. I will. I'll be in for Father's Day. So if I'm sure the series will still be going on. So we will. We'll hopefully catch one. And then do a recording mid thing if you'd like, and that should be a fun time. But hopefully it'll be the last one. Hopefully we are able to catch whatever game is the last game.
Are you? How long are you coming in for on that weekend?
It'll probably be Friday morning.
That Saturday the 14th, is GSU night at Gomart Ballpark in Charleston. You pay for your ticket into the GSU, like, I don't know, it's just the little hangout area or whatever, but it's unlimited food and drinks. That's alcohol and regular beverages.
That's pretty
cool.
Cool.
Limited everything. It's like $20 or $30 a ticket. I've got to be there to work it, but I just take photos randomly. But last year, me and Faith hung out the whole time. You should definitely think about coming, and if Jocelyn, if Jocelyn happens to come down with you, it'd be a great fun.
It'd be a very good time. That'd be a very good time. Is there, like, are they doing it like during a game, or is it just like a thing? Okay, yeah. So she's a big fan of baseball. I like my baseball too. I need some fresh merchandise. I have all this West Virginia Power merchandise from ages ago. I have zero Dirty Bird shit.
Dude,
I like the bird. He's cool.
Oh, dude, he is cool. They got cool. They have cool shit. It would be it'd be a great time. You should definitely try to come down. Be a cool time for us just to hang out too, because aside from taking pictures, that's about it. But
right.
And then even if you don't want to pay the $30 for a regular ticket, you pay $10, or for our ticket, you pay $10 for a regular ticket, and I'll just come and hang out with you guys wherever you're at.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I would definitely go all in and get the GSU ones. That would be sweet. I might wear my Glenville hat and everything so I can look the part.
Dude, that'd be awesome. Well, there's free you'll get some t-shirt. You'll get a t-shirt or two probably too. And
really?
Then, like, there's stuff available there. You can get some keychains and some all kinds of Glenville gear.
Is there any way that you have to prove that you went to the college, or is that even anything they care about?
No, it's just buying the ticket.
Okay.
They just want people to celebrate Glenville, and then at the end of the night, there's a huge fireworks show. It goes on for like 10 minutes. It's really
that's
cool.
sweet.
Yeah. And
it's the best way to end a baseball game.
You know how small that stadium is, so we're right up on them with where the deck and everything is there.
Probably catching buildings on fire and shit, yeah.
It's awesome, dude. It was cool last night, so I'm excited for it. But yeah, that's Father's Day weekend, so you should talk to Jocelyn, and even if not, as far as I know, I don't know if Faith's going to go. Hopefully she is, but if not, you should still come and hang out with us.
Yeah, dude, for sure. It sounds fun as hell. Sounds like a good time. I'd love to do that.
Awesome. I can't wait. Heck yeah. Oh shoot. Let me see.
Yeah, I got one more sports, or a couple more sports things.
That's what I'm looking at is sports, and that's, yeah.
I've got if you have any basketball, go ahead, but I'm going to touch on football, and it's not even really football. It's one person.
I don't have football. Okay. I do have basketball. I'm just going to say Russell Westbrook and Kevin Love retired. It's a very sad day.
What? Did they really?
Yep, both of them have retired. Cleveland is going to retire Kevin Love 0.
God, I'd hope so.
Very much justly deserved. But yes, they both have retired. Sad day in basketball for our generation. Russell Westbrook, you have officially became my generation's Charles Barkley. I love you. Sorry.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Never won that chip, and that's gonna stick with you. But one other basketball thing, other than those retirees. The last thing I'm gonna send you here, basketball. I'm done, and then I'm done with sports. I'm just throwing it in here. The Magic have released their jerseys for this season. And,
I don't like one of them. I like the other two.
Black. I don't like the black.
Yeah, I don't either. It looks stupid. If it was all black, it would look cool. But no, the black with the black stripe and then the random blue up top looks dumb as hell.
Well, it's even more dumb because their shorts continue with the black and the pinstripe down. So there really is just a streak of blue at the top.
Just this little tiny bit of blue up top. Like they don't even redo it at the bottom where there's like a streak of blue at the bottom either.
That I saw. There may have been, but the picture that I saw didn't show it.
Yeah, these look dumb. The regular home and away look great. The alternate, the Jordan brand alternate, looks really fucking stupid.
Yep. I'm looking all. I really like the blue. That blue one pops so much. But 2 out of 3 is not bad. 2 out of 3 is not bad for him. So good for you guys. That's all my sports, dude.
Nice.
Everything else is random.
Nice. Well, I have one sports thing, and it's football. I actually have 2 sports things. One of them I'll glide across real quick. The Rockies finally won their 10th game. They are way behind schedule. I'm not even going to bother looking up what they're projected to win because it's bad. They're probably projected to win about 20 games. They finally won game number 10. We're a month away from the All-Star break. They finally won number 10.
It's funny that you say that because last night, now it would have been a week ago by the time people are watching this. Actually, well, by the time this is posted, it would have been 5 days ago. But last night, the Rockies played the Marlins, and Barstool Sports made a tweet capturing a live stream picture of the game. And there were legitimately maybe 50 fans total in this entire thing. That is crazy for a professional.
I saw a picture of that, and the caption said, "Tens of fans here."
At the Marlins versus... Yeah.
Because most of the time you hear it, it's tens of thousands. This guy just said tens. You said tens of fans here.
Yeah, I was a little heartbroken for him, and that's baseball, I guess. But it also doesn't help. There's so many games.
Yeah, hopefully we can get more views than the Marlins have attendance.
That would be awesome.
That would be really fucking funny, actually.
If we ever reach that, we are coming back to this point and shouting out the 2025 Marlins.
Yeah. We'll be the official mascot.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, man, my last little bit of sports, and I texted you about this when it happened. Joy Taylor, the lady from ESPN or wherever the fuck she works now that got her job because she slept with whoever in the thing. That's like a real allegation. That's not just something I made up. Like that's a real thing.
He's not being a bigot at the
I'm not saying this lady fucking sucks at her job. She had to sleep with somebody. Like no, it was an actual scandal that happened very recently. Yeah. I don't know who it was. I know who it was at the time. I don't remember now because I didn't give a shit. But I kind of give a shit now because I heard what she was complaining about the other day. She goes on this big long tirade about how Aaron Rodgers didn't show up the first day of Steelers camp. I saw this roughly a week ago. I think it was exactly a week ago. Maybe a week ago tomorrow is when I saw it. And as of right now, still, not just last week, but as of right now, Aaron Rodgers does not play for the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's her biggest problem, and the biggest reason as to why he didn't show up for practice is because he doesn't fucking work here.
Nope.
That would be like if I, just left here and then went down the road to McDonald's and then walked behind the fucking counter. Like, I don't work at McDonald's, you know what I mean? I'm not going to show up for my shift if I don't work there.
Except there you would get in trouble because you did something wrong.
Yeah.
He did nothing wrong. He showed up to nowhere that he was expected to be.
Yes. Like, I don't like the guy. I don't want him to play here. But I am not mad at him for not showing up to practice. No. Because he doesn't fucking work here.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, he might. Who knows? You never know when he's going to sign. He might by the time this comes out. And if he does, I'm sorry. But at the time she said this and went on this big rant, he didn't play here. Still doesn't.
Did you? I'm sure you didn't, because did you listen to the Joe Rogan podcast that he did?
No.
Like last week, 2 weeks ago?
I did not.
First of all, none of it is that interesting just because he's the same guy. Like, he just talks about the same thing he always talks about.
I was about to say, he probably talks about himself.
Nothing against him. He does. Nothing against him. It's just like, me personally, I listen to Joe's podcast only to learn stuff, or to try to learn stuff. Usually it's hard for me to comprehend the types of things that go on there. But I'm very interested. I was very interested in anybody that's pop culture related as well. And so I listened to his, and he gave a pretty good hint that, like, almost a for sure hint that he's signing with us.
Yeah, did he?
He made a. Joe said something about, who you might sign with or some teams that you're looking at or something. He said, well, there's a team that actually happens to play, and I think it was the Jets or somebody, and he was talking about playing them at home on this game. He just made it out to where, like, I know at that time I went back and I was like, that's the fucking Steelers.
Yeah.
Like, that's the Steelers. So I'm pretty sure he feels confident, or at least at the time of the recording, that he was going to sign with him. I hope we don't. I would rather go with Mason Rudolph than I would sign a 1 year.
Yeah.
Like, unless somehow he made a deal with the ayahuasca gods that said you will win Lombardi, I don't want him here.
Yeah.
Like, no benefit.
No. But back to the Joy Taylor thing, the thing that really pissed me off. She has the nerve, after incorrectly assuming that this guy plays here, which he does not. She used the phrase, "Where's your integrity?" The lady that was allegedly sleeping with her boss asked Aaron Rodgers, a man who didn't show up to a work that he doesn't work for, asked him where his integrity was.
Well, I understand it, because where is his integrity?
Yeah.
She was willing to go above and beyond for the job she didn't know she was going to get. If he would just show up to the jobs that he might get, maybe he would already have a job. Maybe he should start showing up to every random team's freaking off-season practices. Maybe they'd be
that
like,
would actually be funny as
shit,
hell.
Dude, you're here? I got a contract in there. Do you want to sign it? He needs to take the initiative, and he's not. He's sitting around waiting for them to call like he's some Super Bowl champion, some former MVP. Like he's some guy that's done something, and I don't know. It's bullshit. He needs to go out and prove himself, and he needs to be at the Steelers practicing with them. He needs to be sweating it out with all those guys that most certainly also don't want him. And I'm only saying that because I'm certain that the players don't want him.
I'd say the only person that wants him to play there is DK Metcalf, because in his mind he's like, who the fuck else is going to throw me this football?
I think DK's going to get in trouble.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be like criminal trouble or anything like that, but I think he's going to get pissed off and whoop somebody's ass.
Yeah, I think he's going to be, he's
going to get in a fight with Mason Rudolph, probably.
Yes. Oh, that would be great. That'd be great. Yeah, I have nothing on football, but that is very good. I forgot about that. I'm glad you mentioned that. That girl is dumb, and like Wyatt said, where's your integrity?
Yeah, where is your integrity, Joy? All right, we're back. Yeah, she got attacked by a stink bug.
That is hilarious.
I know.
That is the exact sound that Faith would make.
That's funny as shit.
Like, that is exactly how Faith would react to a bug that cannot at all hurt her.
But I have one more little sports thing to throw in here, and it's not even really sports. It's a sad announcement from our childhood. Maybe kids these days wouldn't know about him, but we do, damn it. John Brenkus, I think I said his name right?
Yes.
The founder and host of Sports Science has passed away very young. 50, what was he, 52, right? 3. We were close. 53. But that fucking sucks, man. I loved that guy. I wanted Sports Science to come back forever, and I don't want it to anymore. Because I think there's only one guy that can do it, and he is now gone.
Yeah. We grew up, like, everybody our age grew up on him, and he gave us information that really was underappreciated for the time.
It was, like, it's information that needs to be, like, re-brought back now, because people don't have, like, a lot of sports fans think they have an idea of what a professional athlete can do, and they have no fucking idea of what a professional athlete can do. Like, I remember specifically, he did an episode on the Beastquake, right? The Marshawn Lynch. I believe he did. Like, at least it was how hard Marshawn Lynch could hit or something like that. He did Kevin Love boxing out. Like, the amount of force that these superhuman people can produce, he relayed that to people and put it in normal people terms so us as kids could understand, like, oh, that's fucking insane. Like,
it goes back to that. It was probably episode 10. Within the questions that we're asking, when we were asking each other stuff, it's one of the things that played into the realization of, like, okay, I want to be a professional basketball player. I will never have the abilities to do any of it. Like, there's beyond exercise and determination. There are some things that are just humanly incapable for certain people. And, like, 99.9% of people can't be professional athletes.
No.
We're just not built for it.
No, and that's okay. But you'll always have, like, just in a room full of, let's say, 20 people, you'll always have one fucking idiot that's like, oh, I could do that. Like, no, you cannot. You cannot.
And when you're young, if you're 23 and younger, it's just, I'll give it to you as not just stupidity, as partial arrogance. Because we're just arrogant to the fact of what our capabilities actually are. And we're also hopeful that our capabilities are more than what they actually are. And then, you know, now looking on it, it's exactly what you're saying. Like, I'd be an idiot if I were to be like, yeah, I could do that.
Yeah.
I could do that. Like, you're just an idiot as an adult if you judge somebody and think that in your terms that you could do better than that.
Yeah. I'll throw out a quick example. We know a fella who I'll not name, but it was, we went to, I believe it was like a pro wrestling show, which is, like, the shit they do is impressive. It's still not as crazy as what a professional athlete, like a regular professional athlete, could do. And I'm watching them, you know, do all these crazy flips and shit in the ring, and they're doing all this, and this motherfucker looks over at me and said, I could do that. I'm like, bro, you ran out of breath walking up the hill. No, you fucking can't. You can't do any of that shit, man.
Like, when was the last time you saw him attempt a flip of any sort?
Never in my life. I've never, like, seen him, like, do anything like it. And he's also one of those guys too that's like, man, if I wouldn't have gotten, if I wouldn't, I almost kind of gave away what if I didn't do A, B, and C when I was younger, I could have I could have gone pro in this, and this. Like, you didn't fucking play anything. You didn't play anything in high school. You couldn't have gone pro in shit. You know, you couldn't have been starting. You couldn't have been starting on any of these teams in high school, let alone playing professionally. Get out of here. I don't know what feeds this delusion.
As somebody that is constantly kind of realigning their goals and kind of like, I don't know, being really hard on myself, the problem with those people and that person specifically, but those people that have that mentality, is that instead of thinking, man, if I wouldn't have done this, this, and this, I would just be a more successful and happy person, they automatically blow it out of the water and be like, I would be the most successful and happiest person if these things didn't happen to me. But because these things happen to me, I'm going to continue down these paths, making my own bad choices that coincidentally are not my fault, because
they're always somebody else's. Yeah, they're always somebody else's fault. Yeah, all of these things that I did to myself, if somebody else didn't do them to me, then, you know,
they wouldn't have happened.
They wouldn't have happened, right? Yeah, that shit's crazy. But yeah, man, that was the end of the sports that I have. That was the end of the notes that I have. Rest in peace to John Brenkus. Again, I hope I'm not butchering that name, but definitely rest in peace. We love you. We miss you. You taught us a lot growing up, and you know, it is very unfortunate. So
yeah, I'm somebody that has been very hard pressed because everybody, in my opinion, or I've at least I feel like everybody goes through stages of depression within their own rights, in their own terms, not own rights, in their own terms, in their own like the depth of depression, or the feelings that are kind of emulated and kind of that grow are can be specific to each in their own. I've been really hard in the past just because within the periods that I've had to deal with and go through, I have given a lot of pride and just kind of self-backing for people, for whenever people can get themselves through it or understand that, like, yes, I'm going through this, but like, you have to be the person willing to accept it and get yourself through it. So like in my instance, or in my instances, that in my periods of depression, or my lowest points of my life, it was understanding that, one, nobody was going to help me, but two, the people that I have around me are the people that are going to assist me in terms of just being there for me, but I have to put that initial effort in to get out of there. So like, and because I was fortunate enough to kind of to dig myself out and to have the help that I had, and to have all the family and friends around me that helped get me out of it, it gave me a really tunnel vision on the effects of depression, and especially like how suicide can come about. And like over the past few years, I've been very hard-headed on, like, I understand these feelings, I know these feelings, but I would always be like, or I would always look at that person and be like, why are you weak enough to give into it instead of doing something to get yourself out of it, because you're the only person can change it. And like, I don't know, the past probably year and a half, the more the more times that suicide has come across, whether it be in everyday life or in a public setting, it's, I don't know, it just makes me re-question everything, and it makes me be like, man, how can at 20 years old or 21 years old I be able to make it through this and think like, oh, it's over? And then like I hear these stories of 40-year-old, 50 years old, 60-year-olds that battle with it still, and I'm like, man, are those points still looking like, am I going to have to go through that again? Are those periods in life that aren't over, but are just it's like everything else. It's like that wave that I talk about. It's literally a wave, and eventually you'll hit another one, and you'll have to be strong enough to overcome it. And it just, I don't know. It just made me question myself, and then it's made me rethink. Like, dude, I've totally had it wrong. Like it's not you overcome this and that's it. It's you got through this period.
You got through it this time. Like, like just, it is a weird one, man. I used to be kind of the same way. I used to be pretty hard-headed about it myself. And until a couple, like, really, 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 really shitty things happened. And then I was like, well, like, I'm not going to do it, but I get it. Like, I'm not going to follow suit. I'm not going to do that. But, like, there's some, and especially, if you hear some stories, whether you read them online or whether you actually hear them like word of mouth, I've heard some stories where I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, I get it. I'm not saying that it's the right thing to do, but whenever you get to a certain state of mind, the right thing to do goes out of your mind. Like, rationale's gone. You know what I mean? And, it is just a weird thing, and it is crazy because it does come in waves. You never know how or why it can come in waves. Sometimes it can just fucking happen. Like, especially if you have a history of it. I mean, I know every once in a while I have shitty days for no reason at all. You know what I mean? But, like, and then other times, like, I have plenty of reason to have a shitty day, and I just don't. It's the brain's a weird little machine that everybody's got going up there, and everybody's wired a little differently.
Yeah, and trying to keep these things balanced is a freaking job.
Fucking tough. It's fucking tough. Especially as you get older, because you get more responsibilities, and you get, like, it gets really tough to, like, so sometimes you do got to put yourself first, and then a lot of the times it gets fucking really tough to, because sometimes you just can't.
See, and that's the thing for me, is that's the hardest, like, exactly what you just said, is as you get older, in my mind, I was like, dude, it's supposed to get easier as you get older because you understand you've been through scenarios, you've been through issues,
right.
You've solved life problems. It's now time to. And especially in this specific case, that guy was successful, had a great family, seemed to have everything. He's been successful for a long time, but it's just, I don't know. And that's just it. I don't know, and nobody really knows. And that's the scariest thing, is like, how do you prepare for something that you're like, dude, that's not going to happen for me? And then, well, I didn't think it would happen for you, though. So
right.
And I don't know. It's crazy, dude.
It is a weird one to think about, man. It's odd.
I've had the conversation. Death has come up a lot with me here recently in a lot of random conversations. I've talked about a lot of our friends' moms passing and the strange deaths that they've had, and like how that's impacted me in terms of fears and certain things, and like understanding or seeing how it's impacted our friends, specifically the ones that had to go through it. And it's just, dude, I don't know. It's just so crazy. I don't know. Death's just such a crazy thing. I don't know. It just reinstates it. Just kind of reinstills into me. Make as many impacts in as many areas as you can, so that hopefully somebody can remember. And that's what this podcast is. It's just an extra little format of extra expression of who we are.
Yeah, agree. Because definitely as an adult, you get less opportunities to do that too. I think you get so caught up in your work, and like you in the in terms of like, you're a dad. You know what I mean? Like, so it gets harder the more responsibilities you have, the more people you gotta be there and be strong for. It's fucking gets real shaky sometimes. You know, it can. And it's it's like you gotta find your shit to do to make your life feel whole. You know what I mean? No matter how little or fucking stupid it is. Like, if it makes you feel good, it's not little or stupid to you. You know what I mean?
Nope. And as an adult, that's the biggest thing. When you're a kid, when you're a teenager, even when you're in college, you're constantly thinking like, oh, this person's looking at me, this person's thinking about me, or you're thinking of what is this person thinking of me, rather than what. There's eventually a point to where like there's eventually a point where everybody reaches where it's just I understand you're looking at me, but this makes me happy. Like,
right.
You just got to get over that awkwardness, and then and that's the biggest thing. You're growing as a person within doing that, because you realize like, oh shit, you weren't looking at me because you're doing your own thing. Yeah. And like we're just each doing our own thing. We just happen to be, so it's a weird dynamic.
Yeah.
It's a weird dynamic. I don't know.
And it's also one of those things that like if you have a thing that you like to do and it brings you like legitimate joy in your life, no matter what it is, like I said, no matter how little or stupid it is, and if there is anybody that has a problem with that, they're probably a fucking loser that doesn't have anything going on in their lives.
They're probably, yeah, a more that's the right way to put it, because those people need to hear it. A more calm way to put it would be, those people are jealous of you because you are happy in your life, and they aren't.
Right. Yeah. God forbid I can find some joy in some little shit that doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm okay with, like, I can waste an hour of my day and be okay with it because I'm happy. It made me content. Like, it brought me a little bit of joy. Why can I waste 8 hours of my day, 9 hours of my day working and hate it, all of it, and not waste an hour of my day enjoying it?
Yeah.
You know, I feel like we both make enough progress productively to some extent on our side or on our personal goals, to where wasting some time, or in our term, what our idea of wasting time is a little bit called for, because it's more
very
relaxation.
Earned. And it's very earned. Put it that way.
Yes. That's the best way to put it. I was gonna say it's well enjoyed, but it's earned.
It's earned. It's deserved. It's all that shit. It's like, yeah, when we take the time to go do really anything, I feel like we've earned that. You know what I mean? Like, but that's, I mean, I don't want to say that's the whole root of the thing, but yeah, like, find shit you like to do, find shit that makes you happy, find people that make you happy, be around them. You know what I mean? Like, there's no cold cut cure for any, depression or anything like that, but like, just do the shit that does bring you a little bit of life. And if anybody else doesn't like it, fuck them. As long as you're not hurting anybody, you know what I mean? Like, unless what brings you joy is like hurting or killing people, don't do that. That's bad. That's bad. Get some serious help or go to jail. But yeah, if you're, find yourself something to do. Occupy your time. Occupy your brain. Find yourself people you like being around, and people to talk to and shit. And God forbid, if worse comes to worse, man, call the hotline. Like, for real. Like, don't, you know what I mean? Anybody that's listening that ever feels shitty or feels like that's your way out, don't fucking do it.
Don't do it.
For real. Like, I'm not ridiculing people that have done it. But like, don't do it.
It's actually
there's a lot more. There's a lot more shit you can find. You can stumble across and make you glad you didn't do it. So
yeah, you just got to break your character, break your current habits, whatever your current routine is. Because
like, if you think you're like, if your problem is your life, then do something different with it. You know what I mean? Like, I know, I understand people can't just straight uproot your whole life, but if you're like, fuck,
you can do a lot lot of things differently.
You can do things differently. Yes,
this isn't 1980. You can do a lot of things differently that just start with slowly. It's that mental state of, you're making these improvements that in turn are making improvements in your life that in turn make that mental improvement. It's literally like a cycle that just
it's just a domino effect, like, but the good kind. Like, normally when you hear domino effect, it's like one bad thing happened that caused this, that caused this, that caused this. No, like, there's a good one too. Like, you can, you know what I mean? All kinds of ways. You can find one little thing that brings you some joy, whether it be a hobby or whatever, and then out of that, you can stumble across a lot of good shit. Like, you can stumble across peace of mind. You can stumble across cool people to hang out with and talk to. You can...
Cool activities. Small activities.
Yeah.
Dude, it doesn't matter. I mean, on this podcast alone, we've talked... Like, I have a bunch of them. Next week, my review is going to be a toy review. It could be literally anything at all that just brings you some sort of happiness. I constantly talk about it. At my brother's graduation party, dude, I broke out the Power Ranger toys that I last showed you. So I broke those out. But whenever I broke those out, it was in front of my entire family. Everybody was sitting at tables eating. And I full on, like, did the Power Ranger moves and the sounds. And, like, I embarrassed the fuck out of myself.
That's
But I was
awesome.
in full kid mode with it. And it was absolutely fun. And... they were laughing at me, but then they were like laughing with me because they could tell how much fun I was having with it, and I was having fun with the kids and everything. And it's like little tiny moments. It doesn't matter how small. It's little things get you along. And now every time I pull those out, I'm just like, oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Try. It's just it's awesome. It's awesome. I don't know. But then we have a million things. Like, I could talk about anything that I do. It literally doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you collect something. It doesn't matter if you play a sport. It doesn't matter if you hang out with people. It doesn't matter what it does. That, as long as it's not detrimental to your health, you can freaking do whatever you want to do. Milk those goats, people.
Right. Absolutely.
Make progress in your life. That's the whole point. That's what those goats are there for. That goat juice, that's progress juice. That's what that is. That's life juice.
Life juice is crazy.
Oh my gosh, bro.
I think it's a good time to transition to any review you might have this week if you have one. I do remember that you had one because you sent some home with me.
I do. Let's do that. I was very excited for these, so I'll just show the picture.
Oh, fucking shit, I dropped one.
These are Nutty Fruity peelable gummies. Strawberry flavored. Because I'm a strawberry fan.
Peelable? What the hell do they mean by that?
So what they mean by that is, so you take it, and I like to keep the gummy part, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bite off the stem.
Okay.
And then on the inside is a different gummy that you can kind of peel out. But you can also just suck on it and it'll come out. That's what I recommend on it, just sucking it.
I see exactly what you mean, too. That is inside of it. Yeah. Oh, that's fucking cool as fuck.
Eat another one before we're going to give this a fair.
Yeah, that thing's pretty cool.
I bit into these earlier this week because Faith started eating them all, and I said, no, you can't. I need them.
I tried one whenever I got home that day. I was like, damn, these are different.
Apparently, it's not a bad gummy. Not a bad gummy at all.
Not at all. Yeah, it is pretty solid.
They're about 12 calories apiece.
Oh, nice.
That's not bad at all. I actually really like that. The first time I had it, I was a little iffy, but that's better the second time I had that. So, Nutty Fruity gummies, peeled gummies. I'm gonna give these a solid 7 out of 10. Not bad at all. Could be better in flavor, but consistency, texture, funness, definitely moved it up to a 7. You know.
Yeah, pretty cool.
This specific kind also comes in mango, if anybody likes mango.
Oh, I bet those probably kick ass. I love mango.
If I next time I'm out, if I find them, I'll get you a thing. We'll review those for an in-person one.
Yeah, hell yeah. And I don't really have one. I do have one. It's for adults only, and I don't know if I have the thing, but I'm not going to show the label because they don't pay us. We can show the labels of other things that don't pay us, but I'm not going to show the labels of alcohol that don't pay us. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, because that's something you could easily just send us a case every week for.
Right. I tried for the first time this past weekend. Do not try this unless you are 21 or over. I tried Terramana tequila. I am a big fan of tequila. I'm a big fan of tequila. If you're not a tequila guy, then you're probably not going to like this. The shit's got some punch to it.
If you're not a tequila guy, mix lime juice with half a can of Red Bull, blueberry Red Bull, and there's something else, and you'll fucking love it.
I bet that's pretty good. I want to try that.
That was my tequila drink for a long time. Yeah. I love that. But I've never had this kind.
It's real good. I think it's relatively new. It was founded by The Rock.
Oh, okay, that's The Rock's.
That's
What's
The
that
Rock's
called?
Tequila. Terramana.
Terramana. I remember seeing it now. It's got like a leaf thing, I feel like, over the name.
I think so. I'd have to actually look at the bottle. I don't even know if we have the bottle or if we threw it out.
That's fun. You know, when you're young, you keep it. So.
Yeah. I thought that I kept that one, but it's not a cool bottle. It's not a cool bottle or anything.
I thought so, but I'm sorry, I was totally off. It just has Respacito on it.
Oh, okay.
Right above.
But yeah, if you like tequila, I think you'll like it. I mean, be prepared. It's gonna smack the shit out of you. But I drank it all weekend because this was like birthday celebration weekend, so I drank it pretty much all weekend, and
not bad priced.
I didn't. Yeah, it's not bad price. No. I got like a regular bottle for like $30 or something like that. Which
That's what I just saw.
For tequila is not crazy. Tequila is expensive. It's more of a pain in the ass to make.
I usually go the next step. I like to go the next step up from a base level.
Yeah.
But what's really odd is I prefer a white tequila, a clear tequila over what is known as a white or a yellow tequila, like a traditional tequila. I prefer a completely clear tequila.
I do too. They have that too. I don't know if that's what you saw in the pictures, but that's what I got. Because I know they have like a...
Wait, which one did you get?
The white one, the clear one.
Oh, yeah. That's what I saw for...
Okay.
That's what I was like, that's what I was drinking.
They have a dark one as well, but I'm not barking up that tree. I've never had a dark tequila, and I'm not going to experiment now.
I don't... It's just different for me. For me, it's like wine. I don't... like, cheap red wine is not like cheap white wine. Cheap white wine. You can get cheap white wine and be like, fuck, oh, wow, that's semi-expensive stuff, good quality stuff, and red wine is trash if you get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I see it here. They do have it. That's more expensive, so I bet that's probably pretty good, though.
Yeah, it is. I'd like to give it me personally, I'd also give it a 7 out of 10. I think it could taste better. It's not my favorite tasting tequila, but in terms of... it got the job done, and I didn't wake up violently hungover, which is nice. That's what I like about that's what I like about tequila is I don't wake up ridiculously hungover. Like it's a relatively dude. It's weird because it sucks going down. Like you take your first drink of it, you're like, oh, this is gonna be bad, but wake up the next morning, I'm like, wow, I'm well rested. I just need a shower. That's about it.
For me, if I can make it through the night, I'm good. The worst part is whenever I first lay down, that first hour, whenever I lay down,
and the room's going,
that I can't, for me, my only memory of that happening, because I really quit drinking by the time I moved out of your house, was whenever I was living in your house, and, that's all I remember just so many times, just literally just face planting onto my bed and having my arm and leg off and just, oh, shoot. Oh, gosh. That's exactly what it was just... that whoa like you were just saying.
But make sure if you're of age you try that out. You have responsible, and you try that out in a responsible fashion. Stay the fuck inside, for the love of God. Don't go out and plague the public with your nonsense, especially if you have to drive there. Don't do that. But yeah, it's all right. Yeah, if you are of age and you can be responsible, it is all right. It's pretty good. It could taste better, but it's tequila. It can only taste so good. But I've definitely had better tasting tequila. This shit just, the taste of it just fucking punches you. It was
dude.
Yeah, I felt like the first shot I felt like I drank gasoline.
I think in terms of liquor, there are 3 types of liquor that I've drank the most of. And 2 of which are clear. And that is Patron and Everclear.
Yeah, Patron's very good.
And
Patron's probably my favorite.
Patron is delicious. You can't beat Patron. Patron is where I tested with Red Bulls. And always started with the original Red Bull, but then they came out with the blueberry. Probably 2017.
Something like that, yeah.
When we were in there in college, our sophomore year or something. And, yeah, that stuff was... I'm telling you, blueberry Red Bull, that'll take the flavor away. I'm excited to try this now, though. Maybe I'll get a bottle this weekend.
Yeah, it is pretty good. I know I will probably get one next weekend. Whenever I come in to visit, I'll probably have one. That might be if we do an in-person, that'll probably be our drink of choice. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. Maybe not the way it tasted, but, alcohol is only going to taste so good. But yeah, as you go, it's as you go on, it tastes lighter. That's for sure.
Yeah, usually does. That's the best thing about it.
But yeah, me. I usually when I drink, I get extraordinarily sick. And then if I don't, my hangover is at least atrocious. Neither of those things happened. Now,
so big win in your case.
Yeah. It was like a gym for me. I was like, wow, this is probably my new go-to. Because I'm not like extra. I wasn't like extra bloated from beer, and I wasn't incredibly ill. So that checks all my boxes. I liked it.
That's awesome. Good for Dwayne for having a solid drink.
Yeah, no doubt.
I refuse. This is really, dude. As a huge comedy fan, I've seen Bert Kreischer live. I used to love him more than anything. I hate Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura together now, so I refuse to try their 2 bears, 1 Oso.
Oh, yeah. I have no interest in trying that shit.
Their 1 Oso vodka. None at all. Screwed. Can't do it.
No.
It's just because they're not funny. I'm gonna be honest. And they can be funny. Tom's funny.
Mm.
Tom's just selfish and money hungry now. Bert's just has it. Bert's just not funny. Bert is the same guy he was in 2012, which is the same guy he was in 1999 when he graduated
the same
college.
Gimmick for 20 fucking years.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's my only complaint with him is that you can be the same person, but your comedy has to evolve, and his has not. It's the exact same.
His is just like, look, I'm fat, drunk, red, and don't have a shirt on.
Yeah, you see how I got a really big gut, but I'm actually a little bit athletic? Yeah, that's me.
He seems like the type of guy that would see a professional athlete do something and think I could do that.
Yeah, he does.
That's right. He fucking does do that. Yeah,
he definitely does. Yeah.
That's nuts, man.
The only thing he's proven that he can do as well as a professional athlete is hold a steiny up.
Yeah.
Which, for anybody that doesn't know, is a giant glass beer mug. It holds 32 ounces of beer.
Yeah, it's because he's had plenty of practice being a drunk bastard.
And just holding it out. And that's all it is he's held beer before. He's not strong and can just hold weight out like that.
Yeah, he's probably used to, holding a full goddamn handle of vodka. So
what they should have done really in that competition was make them hold their opposite dominant hands.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was going up against, him and Tom were going up against NFL players. Tom played it like a normal person, whereas Bert, he destroyed the competition for sure. But your non-dominant hand really shows your strength, because if you're equal with it, then, those NFL players would have, I feel like, done a little better.
Yeah.
Who knows? I don't know. I'm not that much of an alcoholic, so I can't hold beer like that.
Right? Yeah, I don't drink so much alcohol that I'm just permanently like Larry the Lobster colored.
Well, I also just like to drink alcohol. I don't want to hold it out in front of me for 5 minutes at a time.
Yeah,
that seems pointless.
Yeah, I usually just sit it down.
That's actually my favorite activity to do with it. I take a drink and then I set it down.
Set it back down, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what the tables are meant for.
You know what? I need to do an over-under for times I set a beer down. Yeah. That needs to be a new
Sit down count.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, shit. Man, I think that's about a good place to wrap this up. If you have any closing thoughts, I have used all mine. I directed all of mine at Joy Taylor and whoever else I was angry at.
I like it.
Yeah, so my final thoughts are thought. They're all thought and said. So if you got any closers,
I like it.
Let us hear them.
I absolutely will. So, Joy Taylor, you're an idiot. John Brenkus, and your John Brenkus family, I'm very sorry for your loss.
Yes.
John, you yourself, I know you're listening to us from heaven because you're not giving us the view, but you're still listening.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thanks for an awesome childhood. Yeah, you're a legend,
fucking
bro.
legend.
We hope you enjoyed this podcast. We appreciate you tuning in. Remember, there's always somebody there for you. Just reach out. Thanks for watching. This has been episode 23 of the Backroad Banter Podcast.
You can listen to us on Spotify now, so you should do that. Bye, guys.